Good morning. Morning to everyone. Welcome to office hours. I know people are slowly filtering in. Give some time for everyone to join. So welcome. For those of you, I see some familiar faces, but certainly for those of you who are new, if you have a question, what we do is just kind of raise your hand and we call on you. You can also put your question in chat if you would like. What we are planning to do today is answer any questions you have. We do have some things we can go over if there is time. One thing, and I will probably ask this again when there are more people, but just to kind of gauge in terms of whether we hold office hours our next one, which is actually Veterans Day. So just trying to gauge whether that is something that people are interested in having, or we should just cancel it. So if you could let me know in chat, that would be great because we weren't sure based on people's availability. So if you could just let me know if you're interested, that would be great. Oh, I see people are still coming in. Once again, asking a question of you all in terms of our next office hours, which is scheduled for Veterans Day. We're trying to gauge whether people are interested in our holding office hours that day or if we should just cancel based on people's availability. So if you could just let us know in chat, that would be great. If anyone has a question and they'd like to get us started, please raise your hand just to let us know. I don't see any hands. So we do have more people in here now. So I will mention, you guys all probably should have received an email from Cub Express yesterday or the day before. I can't remember. So sorry. The days blend. In terms of a new look that is coming to the back end of Club Express. So I wanted to encourage, and I will probably send an email out to the full distribution list, but I would encourage all of you to attend. They are making some changes. It's not the functionality that they're making changes to, they are updating and modernizing the look. And so some of the icons and things that you are used to seeing will be changing, for instance. And actually, probably a little later on, Yvonne will show us a few snapshots of what it'll look like. But once again, just to encourage you, it's on November 5th. If you didn't get the email, once again, I will send out an email to the full group to let people know, but it is on November 5th at 12 Eastern. So whatever time zone you're on, but it is at 12 Eastern. So just to encourage all of you, if you are able to attend. So June, thank you so much. I see your hand up. Do you want to get us started?
Yes, good morning. I am with Iowa, and I was wondering that can you kind of go into a little more detail about the dashboard? Um, is there anything other than just having the what do I want to once you get there, I'll kind of okay. So why does mine look different than yours does?
So every admin who logs in can customize their own dashboard.
Okay.
So you can add what widgets are most appropriate or what reports are most appropriate to you. Perhaps maybe you're in charge of membership, and so you'd want to add in some membership counts. Somebody else might be, have a completely different role within the organization, and their reports would be, they would want to create a dashboard that is customized for what they want to look at quickly.
Okay. Okay. So as treasurer, um, revenue by member, revenue. Because right now, all I really see, let's see here, I guess what I'm trying to say is my dashboard doesn't really give me a whole lot.
It's limited. It's very nice to have. I think they rolled this out about 1.5 years ago.
Mhm.
So it is limited, but hopefully they add more options. But yes, it's limited to just these charts and reports as of right now.
Okay, so I see revenue by account. And so does that like give you much of anything other than just the diagram? Does it like how does it go into any more than that? Yeah,
No, it's just going to be that.
just gonna be
And then
that.
you can print it, like if you need to put something together in a document for a board meeting or something like
Sure.
that, you can print
Okay.
it. And you can change, most of these, you can change the type of, how it shows.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
this one, you can do range, but on some of these, you can also change how they appear.
okay. All right. That helps. I just was hoping that there was a little bit more and maybe that'll come down, at some point, like you mentioned. So,
Right. Otherwise, there's just the regular reports under the money tab for treasurers. You'd find reports under the money tab and
yeah.
reports here.
Okay. Yep. Yep. Okay. That was kind of my question.
Okay.
Thank
I
you.
have a question about that.
Yeah.
For the dashboard, what reports you're able to show on the dashboard? Is that like based on coordinator? Like, let's say a coordinator only has access to the member tab, for instance, would it only show the options to show membership reports, or would it show everything?
I believe this is set up that anyone with back end access has the dashboard and all reports.
I see. Okay. Great,
Um,
thank you.
I can't log in as I'm a full admin, so I can't log in as just a coordinator. But I do believe that that is the way it is. It's set up for the dashboard is not contingent to your module preferences or module settings within the administrator versus coordinator settings.
Great, thank you.
Mhm.
And I see Monica has a question. How can I limit the items to purchase in the storefront? And how can I get notified if someone buys from the storefront?
Which group are you with? Oh, Wisconsin?
Yeah,
Yes.
Things are not clicking here today. Geez, it's taking several clicks to do anything. Excuse me. Do you have the storefront up here somewhere?
So I do, but I have it under public view.
Okay. So we'll just get to the back end here.
Yeah.
Storefront is under, for those who don't know, storefront is under money. And if you do not see it, it hasn't been turned on. And the way you can turn it on, if you decide that you want to use it, is go to the money tab, configure, and then you'll find it over here. And then you would just, if you were using, if this were not here, you would have to turn it on. And then the P and M stands for public and member. So that means if this is set to P and M, that means both members and the public can see it. If it only has M, that means only members can access it. And if it only has P, then that means only the public, somebody who's not logged in, can access it. Okay, so let's click on the storefront here. And which particular item are you talking about?
So for Premier Sponsor, like, can I make it to only one purchase, and then for Gold Sponsor for only 6?
Let's see.
And I wasn't able to change the type from digital to physical, and I couldn't delete one that I already had here.
Digital to physical. Okay, let's see. just looking to see if you have something that's starting products orders. Let's see. See if that does it here. Kaylee, are you here?
Yeah.
Sometimes early in the morning, my brain's not quite working. I'm trying to figure out where we're changing this from a digital
Digital
to
to physical.
yeah.
I think
I
you
wonder
have
if it's
to
in the
just start fresh.
I'm wondering if maybe it's in the category. Let's see.
And then are we able to delete what we have out there or no?
Yeah, you can with that, see
Yeah.
right here, you can like delete all of the category sponsorship. But
But does it have to be physical in order for us to cap it at like 1 or 6? Because then I would need like the vendor expo exhibitor to be set at 42.
Yeah, because that's going to be like a stock item. So like what it's going to show how many are in stock. Technically not in stock, but how many are available for purchase. And then yeah, so it does need to be a physical in order to do that.
Okay.
But I don't know
However, I
why.
am gonna jump in here and say that another option for sponsorships for events, Monica, is to build out an event and include all of the sponsorships. It's a multi-activity event. And then list all the sponsorship options as activities within that event. And then you set limits to that. So that is actually
Another
then you
easier
have
option. Okay.
your sponsors
That's kind of like a
register, and then they
member.
register based on those sponsorships. So that's another option instead of using the storefront.
Okay, adding it to the event
As an activity.
as an activity. Okay.
Yeah.
And we
So,
have
yes.
videos and stuff like that about that, so I could certainly send that to you. We have actually a video made specifically about that in
Okay.
terms of separate sponsor registrations and sponsorships using the multi-activity event.
And there's also, you can also separate the two if you decided to do something like that. You could have an event that is only sponsorship and then just have the, instead of tied to the registration for your other event, you could have on the calendar just sponsorship, and then they can purchase the sponsorship, and then they can also have a separate item for registering if you want to do that. So yeah, it's, you cannot change it once you've created it. So you created it as a digital by clicking here. So in order, if you do decide to go this route, you would have to delete that and then create a new product instead.
Okay.
So Yvonne, this is Stephanie from the Tampa chapter. I had attended a couple sessions ago and we emailed back and forth. When you do these sponsorships on an event with an activity, if you say you only want one platinum sponsor, and as soon as that platinum sponsor is taken, the whole event shuts down. So then I have to really watch it and pull it off.
And it's not supposed to. This
Yeah.
is, yeah, we were going back and forth with Club Express over this, I think about 2.5 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And they could not figure out why it was turning off. It's not supposed to turn
Yeah.
off. If one activity has been met, the capacity has been met, then it should not prevent people from registering for the rest of the activities. They said it was a bug and they're working on the bug. So yeah, you're right. Stephanie, thank you for reminding me of that. If this is an event that's coming up relatively shortly, you're better off than using your sponsorships or having sponsorships purchased a different way. Another way is also through an ad hoc form. I'm not prepared to show that today. Really, let's see, we had talked about possibly doing that. Like here's a test, become a platinum sponsor. And this is a link to an ad hoc form where somebody can purchase the sponsorship. You can add a price to it. You can also require them to upload a logo, which is usually required with a sponsor. You want their logo. And so when they purchase, when this is an ad hoc form that they fill out, there's a fee to it. They have to pay the fee. They have to upload the logo. And I don't know if Ronnie, if we have a video already about this, but that's, if not, we can definitely create a video about how to create an ad hoc form with a fee and adding links to the web pages, if like I have here.
Okay, that would be helpful, but we just finished our last event and what I did was hit it and said admin and coordinators only, and then increase the amount by 1, and then it let the event go on and the vendors couldn't see the sponsorship stuff.
Mhm.
But that's how I worked around it. But it's all manual. It's just a little
Right.
extra work. But if they're not going to get it fixed by, I think our next event is like April. So if they don't get it fixed by then, it would be
Right.
helpful to do something a little different.
I will send an email over to support to see where they are at fixing the multi-activity
Thank
issue.
you. Sorry to take over that conversation, but if she switches that over, that will happen. And then
Yeah.
again,
keep
then
closer
no
track.
one
Thank
can
you,
register.
Stephanie. I didn't know about that, so that's great. So, but I'm curious, Yvonne, which one of these, the ad hoc form or the storefront, would you recommend? Like if Monica or Stephanie is looking now for alternatives, which one would you recommend is the best or the seamless way of processing those sponsorships?
I like the ad hoc form, especially because it requires the payment. Well, obviously the storefront requires payment, but it also requires you to upload or requires them to upload a logo.
I
But if
love
that is
that
not,
part.
yeah, if that's not as important to you and you don't mind following up with them afterward to say, we received your platinum sponsorship purchase, could you now send us a logo? Then you can certainly do it as a digital item on the storefront.
So I think it would be helpful, Yvonne, if you guys wouldn't mind making a short little video about that. So because we're not going to necessarily show it here now, and it seems like there's a need, right? So, Monica, does that answer your question?
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna do it for storefront for now until I get familiar. Because that's kind of how I already have it set up for our event as
Yeah.
well. So I'll do that as physicals. And then do we get notified when somebody purchases? Like how do I know? Do I get a receipt? Do I get an email?
Let's look at a physical one here. Don't have one yet created.
I deleted those. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yep, I deleted them because I have to start all over.
Okay, let me just create test real quick. So here's where you can also do quantity limits, but yes, you can set up a notification when you get an order.
Okay.
Let me just find that real quick.
It's there. It's
Did you see it? Oh, right here,
admin.
storefront contact.
Okay.
So you would choose who you want that to go to. So anytime an order is placed. Now, what I would recommend if you need it to go to multiple people, because you can only choose one. If
And
you
one
need,
is fine. Yep.
okay, all right. Just then I won't even go anywhere else. Just put in the, you just do any like you do any other where you click on that, you
And
search for the
select the
name.
member.
Mhm.
Okay, perfect. And then I do have two more questions.
Mhm.
In our registration, we have under our money, transaction search pending payments. So I have a multiple oh, he was there. So I had two of them. Unless I'm not clicking something.
So this is everyone, so that's members and non-members. This is what it automatically defaults to. It automatically defaults to unpaid, so it looks like you don't have any open invoices right now.
Okay, that's interesting, because he had a duplicate payment and one was a non-member and one was a member, and we couldn't figure out how to delete it.
Well, let's just look at this month for paid only.
Unless it got removed from not paying it.
Do you know the name?
Butterworth was his name.
Butterworth?
Yep.
Not seeing any Butterworth here at all within the
Okay.
last month of a payment.
So does it go away then? If
No,
he
somebody
doesn't
would have
pay?
to delete an open invoice. Just look here. So first of all, let's take this opportunity to merge these two. So when I went to the People tab, it automatically defaults to members and active and expired only. Everybody who's been in these meetings knows that I recommend always doing both and checking all, because that's how you're going to find duplicates. And because if you were, for instance, to look at his transactions, the active member transactions, you might be going crazy because you're like, he says he has an open invoice or whatever. And it could be that the open invoice is with his non-member profile. So that's one of the reasons why I always check both and all. And then the other reason is to clean up any duplicates. So let's merge these. Let's take the opportunity to merge these two profiles. So by doing that, I'm going to go to member options. I'm sorry, non-member, no, I'm sorry, my bad. I'm going to click on the non-member, the last icon, and I'm going to merge. And then I'm going to, now that option is not available with the member icon, the member profile. You have to merge from a non-member profile. So I'm clicking here, going to merge, and then I'm merging with a member. And then I just do the same process. I click and I find his name, and then I merge these two profiles together. And now anything that was in his non-member profile, any activity, any event registration, any payment has been merged into his member profile. And then I'm going to click on the pencil icon and go to his payment credit history. There's no payment credit history in the last year. Let's look at the transaction history just to double check everything. And there's no transaction. So yes, somebody came in here and deleted
Yeah.
his invoice.
So I just ran the event report for our winter conference, which is next week. And he's on there twice. One as a member and one as a non-member. One was 100, one was 60, and it says not paid in time limit.
Okay, so that means your event is has a immediate payment only, and he has to pay within 30 minutes. Otherwise, his registration automatically cancels.
Okay,
So
okay.
because that happens, so yes, if it's an
Then it
event,
bumps
that
down.
open invoice, so you just happen to see the open invoice right away in transactions within that 30 minutes of him registering for the event, and then it did automatically clear out because the event, his registration canceled.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Mhm.
You had one other question, correct, Monica?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Can a primary member register and pay for their secondary members
For an event or
for these
their
events? Yes.
Yes, you have to have the event set up that the including a registrant type for another person in your membership, and then you have to allow guest registration. Do you have a specific event in mind?
We have it it's under winter conference.
So who can register? Let's see. First, we start with registration and fees, and we make sure that you're allowed to have a guest. So you have no guests, so no, they would not be able to. So if you want, I don't know if your agency memberships have a secondary limit. Do you know?
We don't have a limit. I think we might have up to 10, I think.
So we could change that to maximum guests of 10.
Okay.
And then who can register? You've got a member, a non-member, and a retiree. You've got to add guests. So now we're going to add a member guest, another person in your membership. That's going to be a secondary member. And you can
Okay.
change this display to something like member guest, secondary member. And
Okay.
if the cost is 60 as well, 60,
Yes.
add. And then are you allowing a member to bring somebody who is not a member as a guest?
No,
Okay,
it's just
so,
normally our primaries are the ones that have the P card. So it would be easier if they registered for all their 9, 10 people that are under them.
okay. And that would only be, you wouldn't have that option under retiree. There's no secondary members under retiree?
Retiree could probably bring like a spouse,
Okay, so then
but they
you
don't
could
have to be
add
members.
a member guest, a non-member,
Okay,
and then you would change that maybe to retiree guest, retiree member guest. And if that fee is $10, can add that. And
okay.
then would a non-member be allowed to bring a guest?
Yeah, we can have it set up the same way as member.
So then that would be a non-member guest, another non-member.
Okay,
And if that fee is 100,
yep.
Confusing, it's not.
Yeah, so okay, but you have to create it in every event?
only the events that you have this type of registration options.
Yeah, it would be
So what
all
I would
events.
recommend is once you get an event set up, for instance, if this is something you do every year, don't start from scratch next year. If you know
Okay.
that this event and all of the registering categories have been set up correctly,
Yep.
do you want me to save this first of all?
Yes, please.
Okay, so you can go back and make any edits to the text that you want to appear. But what I was going to say is next year when you're going to do this winter conference, or even if the spring conference, let's say, is the same way, it has the same type of registrant options, then instead of creating the event from scratch,
And duplicate
take
it somewhere.
go to the one that you know was set up correctly, the latest one that was set up correctly, and
Okay.
copy it. And then once you copy it, you can rename it up here, but I'm just going to put copy for now.
Okay.
Once you copy it, you can just go in and edit. You can change the price, you can change the basic information, the formatted description, all of that. But all of those who can register will be carried over, and you just have to go in and change the price if any of them have changed.
Okay. Thank you.
That's the easiest way to do it than trying to build it from scratch and remembering everything that you need to
Right.
do.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Thank you.
I'm gonna delete this so that doesn't show up. Okay, does
Yep.
that answer your questions?
Yes, it did. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So I am going to jump in here with one question just to kind of close this off. In terms of the storefront for sponsorships, Yvonne, I don't know if the Wisconsin chapter has it activated, but generally they have to reach out to Club Express to get the storefront activated, correct? It's for others that,
Yes, yes, it's not, you're right. When I clicked on the configure, let's see, do we know somebody who does not have the storefront?
I don't, I mean, they can add it to their site and they can add products and use it, whatever, but to actually activate it, it's in test mode. When you do that, you have to reach out to Club Express to ask them to act in the support to activate it. So Monica, maybe on your site, it's already activated. Oh, no, it's in
Yeah.
test mode. So you will have to, when you're ready to launch this, because I'm not sure the reasoning behind it, but you need to reach out to Club Express to activate it. So.
Yeah, so here's one that does not have it activated and it says test mode. So if
Oh,
yours does
not
not
this
say
one,
test
so-
mode, then yours is activated.
Okay. Okay, Tony, you've been so patient. Give me 1 second. I just want to mention that I don't know if any of you have heard, but if you are going to Academy this year, in Tucson, we will be offering, some Club Express training. Yvonne and Kaylee will be joining us to do a virtual training on site. So, on the registration form, there is, I'm not sure, a box or something. Jennifer could clarify if need be. But to let us know whether you would be attending that training. It will be on the Wednesday before Academy starts on Thursday. So just to let you all know, if you are interested in that, please let us know on your registration form. Jennifer, you want to add anything more to that?
Nope, that's correct. There's a checkbox that just says that you're interested. We'll be having some food as you travel in, and get unpacked and get settled. It'll be from 2 to 5 in the afternoon. If you have questions about it, just don't hesitate to reach out and I can give you some more details.
Thank you. And Tony, thank you for being so patient.
Yes, I'm a patient young man. Question for that. Do the folks who are going to be there in Arizona, I guess they should bring their laptops so that they can, I guess, fool around with it, or it's not necessary?
Tony, that's a good question. My gut instinct would probably be to say yes, but until we see who all is registered and coming, then we're going to work with Yvonne and Ronnie and what we want that training to look like. And then we would reach out to each of you and say, this is what is it that you want to cover? This is what we'll be covering. We suggest you bring. So right now that's TBD, please.
Okay, all right. I was just curious.
Yes.
Yeah, Maryland Public Purchasing Association, and you can actually see if in fact we have a storefront, because I don't think we do. I know you was looking for someone, but okay, test mode. Okay, so all right. So my question may not be good for this audience because it's being recorded, but I'll let y'all decide. And Ronnie, you're still in as our administrator, so maybe I might shift this to afterwards, but I'll let y'all decide. So right now we're going through an election, and we did it through a survey, and I think I spoke about it the last time. So through survey, so it's live, and it's MPPA 2026 election. Now I'm going to ask so the questions I want to ask is, how do I look at the results as they moving forward, and then how do I close, so we did it for 2 weeks, so it's going to close on, I think, 11:59 on November the 10th. And then then I want to look at the results, and then report out the results, and then how do I get rid of the ballots? Now, how do I look at it periodically? Now, what I did was 2 people, and the woman who set this up, she's actually running for the office. So I took her out. So I'm kind of like operating blindly. And that's why I might say, Ronnie, I might get with you later, because I don't know if it's being recorded. If you start looking at results and all that, you see 27 people have already registered their vote. I don't know if it's appropriate, what you're doing now, to see who registered and blah, blah, blah. We're not looking at who they voted for, but
Right.
Periodically, how do I look at, instead of going through each one of them, like, is there like a results, like I can look at all 4 people and see what's going on throughout this period? And I'll let you talk now.
Okay, so you can go back here, and I won't click on any of them, but you can go back here and click on the view response to see who people
Right.
individually voted for. The other option, you can export the response details, and it's going to export in a CSV, and I can use another website here. Okay, so just quickly to go back to the surveys, in case somebody doesn't know, that is under the communications tab and then surveys. And let's look at 2025 elections. If I go to results here,
Okay.
I can look at individual results, and I can see this was done anonymously. I can see who they voted for.
Okay.
That's not going to do you any good when you have a whole bunch and you're trying to tabulate the results. So I can export the results in a CSV. And then what you would do, and this is how it comes out, what you would do is you'd have to sort the column with the names to see, okay, 36 people voted for this person. Okay, that's one way. And then once you close it, you can delete all the responses.
Okay, hold on. So I don't want to touch nothing. I'm not deleting it until after everything is done. Okay.
Right.
So that's when I actually, we asked for permission to get rid of all of the ballots, and then they say, yeah, and then I can go back and delete all the ballots. Okay.
Correct. And then 2025 Board of Directors. And then here are some additional reports. And you can also look at some of these reports to see if anything looks better for you. I always just use the export and sort by the name
Okay.
to see how many people. That's the one that I use.
Okay. And that's it, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now, I did notice that you did not set up your election as an election. It was set up as a poll.
Correct.
If you had set it up as an election, then it would be anonymous automatically, and you would not see the people's names of who voted and who voted for who. So by doing it this way, if somebody wanted to see who you voted for, they could click here and see who you voted for.
Okay. So, okay, these are the administrators.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Or any coordinator that has access to that.
Yeah. So let me get to that point. So I took 2 people out, and I took, so if you go to my coordinators, I purposely took out administrative coordinators. Go down to Sydney Distance, and I put everything in there. If you go down, except for surveys, I took her out surveys, and that was that correct?
Yes.
So
So
she
she will
can't
not be
look.
able.
Yeah,
Correct.
so because she's one of the persons. Okay. All right. I think that was it. I just wanted to know how to kind of, get the results, and so after the election, then I can make her an administrator again. But for this period of time, I'm just taking her out as far as being able to see any of the results.
Yes.
Okay.
And then let me just look at one more thing here. Surveys.
Did you want to see who voted for whom, or did you want it to be anonymous?
I really don't care.
Okay. It
So
doesn't matter. Okay.
yeah, so I really don't care. I just didn't want the people who have access to, and the other folks who are administrators, they really don't have any skin in the game. So I'm okay, because I would have had to take everybody out as an administrator and just myself, or yeah. So I'm
Or it's just whether you set it up, like next year, you set it up as an election to have anonymous versus the poll, that's all.
Well, so here's the thing. Last time I asked which one was better, and I think it was said set it up as a poll. That's what I thought I heard, as opposed to an election. So
No, with the other website where I was showing the results, that was set up as a survey. And the reason it was set up as a survey is because that site, I've been working in Club Express for over 10 years, and at the time they didn't have elections. They also didn't have polls. They only had surveys. So
okay.
instead of redesigning it, I've just always copied it and used the survey option, but made it anonymous. They added the polls and the election format to surveys several years ago, probably 4 or 5 years ago. I definitely recommend using the election format, because then it's anonymous and only members can vote.
Right. Well, I set this up where only members can vote also.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not active, then you can't vote. So, all right.
Right.
Well,
But some people would not be happy to know that you can track who they voted for individually. So
Okay.
that's just, that's one of the reasons why Club Express set up the election portion, the election option in the survey module about 5 years ago.
Okay. Okay. Well, I guess I'll be probably trying to run this thing next year, and by that time I'll understand the
And
election.
it's easy. You just add a survey and then it asks you, where is it? Configure as an election. And as soon as you configure it as an election, it becomes automatically anonymous.
Okay. Okay. And then, but I would still see the results and be able to, but then I wouldn't be able to see who voted which way.
Correct.
Okay. All right.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Well, that is my answer
Mhm.
to my questions. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So Yvonne, I don't see any hands up. So if we want to cover, I'm not sure what you want to start with first. So you.
Okay, so real quick, Ronnie and I talked about maybe sharing a few features of things that you might not know, of widgets that are built into Club Express that you might not know about. The first one I'm going to touch base on is the Accordion widget. This recently came up because somebody was talking about their website and how they have past winners of awards. And because it's multiple years and it's a really long page that you're scrolling down, it's I think the most recent winner of the awards is at the top, but it goes back many, many years. So you're scrolling further and further down the page. An option that you can do is you can add an accordion widget to your website and right now I just created something really generic this morning, but I'm going to show you how to do that. So if you have the page, a custom page open, you work the same way, you add a row. So I just did a row for an accordion widget here because I wanted to show you another option too. I just did a 25, 50, 25 row. And then in the first one, it asks you, I'm going to do it duplicated over here. Let me just move that. In the first one, it asks you what widget. As soon as you click on it, it says, what do you want to put into that box? And I am going to use the accordion widget here. And I just pull it over. And then I'm going to add a panel. And my first panel here, I'm going to add, let's see, I'm going to click on the gear. And I'm going to set up my options for the accordion widget. And I'm going to use the same name here. And I am going to make the container width 100%. That means it's going to fill the box. And I'm going to change my font to this one. And let's change it to a 16. Pretty simple. And then this here allows you to choose what type of icon you want for your accordion widget. And I'm going to do a double arrow black. And I'm going to choose a background color, this color here. Let's just do something sky blue. And for my text, I'm going to go with black. And then when I click here, this is now going to update it to the 16 font, and this is what the box is going to look like. And then I am going to start editing it. And here is where you would add links. Now for this one, you can do it to, you can just have words. Like you can have, let's do Jane Doe. And something like that. I'm actually going to go back here and change this to 2025 winners. And then I'm going to click apply change. So I don't know how to spell, apparently. So I'm just going to go back in here to edit it because I made a mistake, and you're going to see how easy it is to edit. As long as I remember to hit apply change, it'll update. And now if I click on this, or if I make this active, you can see it goes up and down. Now let's say I want to add 2024's winners. I'm just going to add a panel. Panel number 2 is going to be 2024 winners. And again, I have to do all this again. I have to go 16. Black down, plus or minus black down. The nice thing here is you can do alternating colors. So let's say I want to go sea green. That's not a very nice color. And we'll do a text as white. And then I'm going to edit the names. And apply change. And this is how the widget would look. So it's really easy to work with. The only issue with it is if you're going to start building it and you want to make sure that you're building it, you can't rearrange. So this is something that people have asked Club Express to make an improvement in the future. So hopefully it does get made. But if you wanted to add now a 2026 winner, you would have to start from scratch. So that is one bad thing about it. So if you're going to build it, you definitely want to start at the top and build down. And hopefully soon Club Express will add something where you can change the display sequence for the widget. The other thing is this widget here, I have as attachments instead. So it doesn't have to just be created with just text. I'm creating something to the document library. I've created links to the document library. So right now, if I click on this, there is a link to the document library for a PDF. And I created the link 2 different ways. One is just a regular text and one is a button. And I will just show you really quickly how you can edit that. If you want to add more links, maybe this is something like membership applications and or bylaws, documents of the association, things like that. You can use it for anything you want. It does not have to be winners, obviously. So you would just go in here and edit. And I'm going to put my cursor here and I'm going to add a new link to the document library. And again, you can link to anything. It could be an external page. It could be a future event. So you can use this accordion widget for any type of thing that you want to link to. And I'm going to go to a document, built-in module, document library. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. Hold on. Don't want the built-in module.
Document. Yeah.
Document. Thank you. So when you link to a document, you can link to the folder, and then it would just take you, if you have multiple documents in the folder, it'll take you to the folder, or you can zero down into a specific document. So I'm going to go to headshots and I'm just going to go with this one here, and I'm going to create it as a text versus a button. This is the button, this is the text. I want to have it open in the same window, but the document library opens as a new tab anyway. And save. And oops. See, and here I did it again. I accidentally went out of there without hitting apply change. So link, document, public folder, this one, save, and then apply change. And then there's the new link.
For the linking to a document library like this is a great way in terms of, if for those of you who have newsletters, and a way to list them on your site. The accordion, using the accordion to do that can be done, but as Yvonne explained, you can't work in descending order by year, right? Because each year you would have to recreate the widget, but certainly you could create just a regular, WYSIWYG text editor and just bullet, and then you could link to each newsletter on the page, right? So it's just a way in which, because those would be uploaded in your document library, for instance. You could create a folder of chapter newsletters and then a subfolder of 2025, and then that have all of them, and then a subfolder for 2024, etc. So different options.
And then there is another option here called the tab display. It's not as pretty, to be flat out honest, but it works the same way. And let's just do a tab 1. We're going to name that, or I guess we don't really have to put any text in. We're just going to name that as, well, we'll keep it as just tab 1. But it works the same way. You can change the colors, the font and everything. And then I'm going to add a new tab, tab 2. For this one, let's go ahead and change the settings for the colors to, let's see, tab hover color. We can do and text. Okay, and save. And for this one, tab 1, tab hover color, and we'll keep that as black. Save, apply change. So this ends up being tabs across. So it works the same, it's an accordion widget, but horizontally basically. So instead of clicking downward, you can click on multiple tabs. And if you click on this tab, you go in here real quick and just put some sample text. And I did it again. Again, always hit apply change. I forget that a lot. So now if I save and make that active and I go back to the accordion page here, if I click on tab 1, you see hello. If I click on tab 2, you see goodbye. So it would be all that text. However long the text you have, you can add links here. You can add just text. You can add images. It's just whatever. It is a little bit limited on the formatting. It is not like creating a custom page. You can see, actually this one has more, but if you go to the accordion widget, you can see there's not as much. See, it's less options for formatting than if you use the tab. The only problem with the tab though is you can see if you only have a couple tabs in a long space, it's not going to look as good. It's going to look a lot better if you have many tags. This might work better for awards because you could technically go into this and just copy the HTML or just copy this text. And if I wanted to add a new tab, but I want to move things down, I could just cut and paste all the way down each thing, and start with 2025 up here and take what was in, what was in the tab before and paste it in, if you understand what I'm trying to say. It could make it a little bit easier for something like awards or even newsletters.
The title of the tab in terms of width changes based on what you title it. So a really long title would increase the tab size, correct?
Yes, absolutely, yes.
And the hover, just for those that don't know, hover is basically the color it turns when you hover your mouse over that tab.
Yes. Save, apply. Yeah, the hover is like this here where I'm hovering over and it changes color. And so here, if I hover that, it went from that color to the tan color. And see, I was able to just take the text from this, copy and paste it right into that tab. So that would be an easier way to move things from tab to tab than trying to having to create all brand new widgets, all brand new accordions. But this is just two other options that you might not have known about. And then I did want to just really quickly go over the document library. I know we only have 3 minutes, but if you're not using your document library, this is going to be a real quick overview. If you create a new folder, I'm going to create a new folder under public. So this here is public, and I'm going to add a subfolder, and I'm going to just name that as maybe membership applications. Do I want members to be able to upload? No, most of the time you don't. So you change that to admin only. Do I want this to show on the front end of the website? If I don't, and it's something I don't want anyone to see, I can hide that. The visibility can be all users, members only, members of a committee. So perhaps you have a board of directors and it's documents that you only want logged in board members to be able to see. You could change that to members of a committee, the board of directors. And then I'm going to click save. I'm not going to show this on the website because I only want the board members to see it, and they would have to come in the back end to see it. And then the other thing is, somebody just asked me recently how you can change the sequence of your document library. I'm going to use Washington as the example, since Washington was the one that asked me, and they have a lot in their document library. So document library is website tab, document library, and if you can rename it, so maybe you might see documents if you've renamed your document library. So if you wanted to change the order of where these appear, you would right click or click on here, and you would change the display sequence. And then that moves these up and down, same way you do other things on Club Express, move things on Club Express. But you can also change the order in a subfolder by right-clicking and changing the order for the subfolder and go up or down. But if you're trying to just arrange the order for the entire document library, you click on this one up here, the top level folder, and change the subfolder display sequence.
Vaughn, we are at an hour, so we certainly can cover this more at a future office hours. It seems to me, based on the responses that I got, that most people will not be able to attend the next one on Veterans Day. So my plan will be to cancel that. If you feel strongly about it, please send me an email to let me know that you would like to attend, but it seems to me that most people will not be available. Thank you, Yvonne. We will do this again then at the 4th Tuesday in November. Oh, is that Thanksgiving? Oh my goodness, now I have to take a look. Wow. Okay, so we might have an alternative plan based on if that is the case. I don't have a calendar in front of me. So thank you everyone for attending. Attend the webinar of the new look if you are able to on November 4th. And I will send an email about that out as well. So thank you, everyone.
I think it's November 5th, Wednesday the 5th.
Oh, sorry, you're right, November 5th. So sorry. You were right. Thank you, everyone, for attending. Have a good rest of the day.
Bye.